So, who wants to sleep with me? One of the video ideas I've had written down for a long time is to do a sleep study. And by that I mean, record myself sleeping and watch it back. Because I'm genuinely curious whether I do or say or, whether I'm weird in my sleep. Obviously, I've been in situations before where people have observed me sleeping. Nobody's really given me anything concerning. Like, I've heard that I snore on occasion. I've heard that I've said words in my sleep. I've slept in the same room as other people and no one's been like, oh god, bro, I'll never sleep in a room with you again. It was horrifying. You sat bolt upright and turned and your head did a full 360 and then you hovered off the bed. I'm genuinely curious as to whether, if I record myself sleeping for like a period of time, whether anything funny or interesting will happen. So I'm going to be doing that tonight. I'm going to be recording myself, and then in the morning, I'm going to go back through it and have a look. So as I said, I've had this video planned for a while, but there's one specific reason why I haven't done it. And it's going to sound very strange, especially because I am a skeptic, like a big skeptic. I genuinely don't think, ghosts or any kind of supernatural things really exist. If anything ever happens to me that some other person might be like, oh, that could have been a ghost. Maybe a ghost did that. I will explain it away in any other way before I come to this conclusion that it could potentially be a ghost. The reason I'm bringing this up is because I have avoided recording myself sleeping, even though I've wanted to do this for a while. I thought it'd be funny. I've avoided myself sleeping because what if I do see something? Like, for example, imagine like 2 hours into the recording, I'm fast asleep, and a figure appears at the foot of my bed and stands there watching me. I will never, ever get over that. There will be no way I could possibly sleep again, and that's why there's that little part of me that's like, I don't believe it'll happen, but I'm worried about the consequences if it did. But, confession, I'm a little behind on Bradvent, and the video that you're watching right now was recorded the night before, so what you're seeing is my last night's sleep. So that's why I'm doing this one, because I know it's one that I can quickly get together and do. So, that's the plan. Obviously, I'm not going to put the whole thing in. Nobody wants to sit and watch me sleep for hours. Oh, you know what? Patreon cut? No, not even that. The Patreon's not getting an uncut version of me sleeping. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to obviously... I might show a bit of the footage right now. I'm getting into bed and getting comfortable. But then it'll be the next morning. I'm going to record myself going back through the footage. And I'm going to scroll through and see if anything interesting happens. If I say anything strange. Or if I do anything particularly odd. Or if I snore like a fucking motorboat. I'll know. And I'll watch it through and it'll be interesting. And God forbid that something appears in the room while I'm sleeping. I mean, I'll put it in the video. It's interesting. I'm obviously... I'm going to explain it away because that's what I do. But just imagine. I'm a little on edge thinking about it. Like, legitimately, it's like there's that primal idea of what if someone's watching you sleep. Best case scenario... This video is boring as hell. I'll watch through it and nothing interesting will happen. I won't snore, I won't do anything weird. It'll just be a nice, restful night's sleep and I'll wake up in the morning and be like, oh, I had a great night's sleep. It was so good. I mean, it's not going to be perfect, so I'm going to have some lights on in order to do it. But I've slept with lights on before. I used to sleep with your screen on and stuff, or my Christmas lights are on. It's festive. Anyway, let's cut to Brad preparing for bed. And, Godspeed, sir. Well, here I am, all snug, in my festive bed sheets, ready for my night of recorded sleep. Hopefully nothing appears. Well, good night, everyone. Oh, God. God, if it's literally just this the entire time, just my face like that, what a waste of hard drive space that would be. Well, wasn't that an eventful night? Or was it? We don't know yet. Altogether, I slept for about 8 hours, but I stopped the recording after 5. Well, I can already see on the audio waveform that there are some areas of some kind of noise. Hopefully just a bit of snoring, and not some demonic monster or entity at the foot of my bed. Merry Christmas, everyone! So yeah, I'm gonna look through it now. We're gonna go through it together. Obviously not the entire thing. I'll be trimming it down to like the interesting parts. So if you look at the runtime of this video and it's only another minute, that means nothing interesting happened. I made no noise. I didn't move. It's like watching a still frame. So let's shift over to this screen. There we are. There's Brad ready to go to sleep. There's one time I remember waking up and talking to the camera, because that was when I restarted my recording, so that it wasn't like a massive 5-hour block. It was in 2.5 hours each time. But it was a bit of a restless night, so I don't know whether I'm going to be like tossing and turning, or maybe I woke up more often than I thought, and there's other times where I've said stuff to the camera. Imagine if all of these like waveform things and me talking and I say weird stuff. Imagine if I confess things. I guess let's go. See what happens. Just had a little bit of panic of like, I've definitely pressed record and not streaming. Yes, you have, Brad. You've definitely pressed record. Look how cozy and comfortable I am. So you'll notice that the microphone is like hanging over the top. That was to record any noises I made. So the audio quality for that is probably not going to be phenomenally good, but hopefully it'll be good enough where if I do say anything funny, it'll be in the video. Right, anyway, so there's a little noise, there's a little blip about a minute after this. What's the blip? I yawn. What I'm doing is I'm going down and I'm looking on the waveform for any spikes of audio, because the spikes of audio are going to be the interesting parts. Oh, I think I'm asleep. I'm making snorry, like vaguely snorry noises. This is so weird. It is really weird, because you never, ever really see yourself sleep. Why would you? Why would anybody see themselves sleep? So it's going to be really weird to watch, to look back and be like, oh, so this is what I look like. You know what? So far, it's fine. I'm in the exact position that I fell asleep in. I'm making some quiet snoring noises. Oh, a deep breath. Just taking that air in, ready for some more snoring, because I can see some little bumps in the waveform down the line. Oh god, I don't want to be like making horrendously loud snoring noises, because then I'm gonna know I'll do it and I'll be paranoid. And if I'm ever in bed with somebody, like, or if I'm ever sleeping in the same room as somebody again, I'm like, oh no, god, that's what they're gonna hear. They're gonna hear this fucking lawnmower. Right, what's this next noise? Okay, we're coming to a big noise. Are we ready? What was that? Okay, it was a noise outside. Like as I said, I don't know if I left it in the introduction, but I said I always explain away anything like that that happens, because I don't believe in ghosts. There's a couple of knocky sounds. They could easily be anything. It could be anything. It could be a noise outside. It could be something in the front room that fell over because I balanced it precariously and it just happened to fall at that time. Like, there's the number of times I've gone shopping. When I've come back, I've just put my bag down, and as the bag settles, it topples off the chair. Like, it happens all the time. I'm not going to take... the thing is, there's a little part of me that's worried now, because there's loads of these little bumps on the audio waveform over the next, like, half hour or so. Imagine if all of them are knocking sounds. If I find anything particularly dodgy, I could send it to the Watcher Ghoul Boys, or I could contact Danny Robbins. Mum, I could contact Danny Robbins. I do have a neighbour who shares a wall. Could easily have been the neighbour. Still just lying in a completely still position, sleeping. Quiet snoring. Okay, so currently we are 20 minutes into the recording. I would have fallen asleep about 5. I mean, there's a lot of sleep in here. I'm probably going to start just skimming through to the noises, because I think the noises are going to be indicative of something happening. Like, even if I roll over, it's going to make more noise than just lying still doing nothing. I move my feet a lot, don't I? What about this one here? I made a noise! Yes, we have noise. We have Brad noise, we have mysterious noise, and we have foot kicking, and we have snoring. What else? What else is on the bingo card? I want a word. If I get me saying a word, or even just like a that'll be great. I'm very happy with that. Oh, my phone went off. Interesting. I don't know why I'm saying interesting, like it's like, the world has changed. How could this thing have happened? It's like someone sent a message probably on Discord, and it turned up in the evening. Oh, I'm scratching my face. Was I awake for that? Or, that's the thing, do you do stuff like that in your sleep? I've never really thought about it. Do you scratch yourself? Or, I suppose you must. Like, it's sort of a... Maybe you're not like asleep, like deep REM sleep or whatever, but maybe it's sort of like a unconscious thing to just do something like that and go back to the position you're... I don't know. Right, we have some big noise spikes coming up at the 26-minute mark. So first one. Oh, I'm awake. That was really creepy. So I was looking at the waveform on one screen. I pressed pause and looked over, and I'm fucking looking at myself. Do I say something here then? Oh, I'm changing position, I think.
Just scratching.
When I try and sleep, I tend to try and sleep on one side, and then if I get like, if it starts to feel a bit too uncomfortable on that side, I tend to switch to the other side. So I imagine at some point I'm going to turn and face away from the camera, which means things might be a bit less interesting. Obviously, this recording's going to last forever. I've just noticed there's a massive spike coming up as well. Like, a genuinely much bigger than the rest. Right, this is me changing positions and turning over. Oh god, look how fucking bald my head looks in this view. So usually I shave my head down to it's like a 3mm or whatever it is now, or just to do the entire thing completely. I haven't done that for a couple of weeks because I've been really busy with work, then I've gone and visit family, and now I'm back doing this. And it really sort of shows how thin my hairline has just gotten annoyingly. I'm going to make a Break Brad video about that at some point. I'm going to complain about male pattern baldness. I don't know why I forgot the word for baldness. Because it's just annoying. It's annoying that it happens, and I don't get a choice. I liked my hair. I had great hair. Brad, put in a picture of you with long floppy hair. I love that hair. Checking the camera, making sure it's still recording. Yeah, Brad, I'm still watching you. Still watching. I'm watching you sleep. Fuck are you doing? Oh, I remember. When I rolled over, it pulled my shirt really tight around me, and because I don't usually sleep in clothes, I had to, like, loosen it a bit to make it more comfortable. Okay, so for the next, 10 minutes, it's basically just very little. Just me lying here, nothing happening. There's a little blip here, which is probably me making a noise. No, we have another room noise. That's a lot quieter than the other one. It is weird. I wonder how many noises do happen that you don't really notice because you're just sort of going about your day. However, there is a big spike coming up, and I'm a little bit concerned now about this one because I wasn't expecting to hear any miscellaneous noise. My room's fairly soundproof. You don't hear a lot of outside noises in here, unless you sometimes hear trams and sirens and stuff, like loud things. But in terms of people or banging noises, unless the neighbour's doing something, it's very rare to hear that. And I see a spike coming up now, which is bigger than the spikes I've seen so far. I don't know whether it's going to be a big snore from me or whether it's going to be something creepy in the room. Thankfully, we've not seen an apparition yet, and that's the part where I'm being no, absolutely not. So let's scan through. Nothing's happening. Oh, I've kicked my feet. Look at that. Okay, I'm making snory noises. Right, I'm hoping that this noise coming up now is just a big snore. One single big snore amongst the rest. Please don't be a big bang or a big weird creepy noise. Big snore. Come on, Brad. Ooh, a cough? I cough. I have had a cold over the past week. That's fine. Okay, it wasn't something creepy. It was just a cough. I think I'm still awake. I must be having trouble getting back to sleep. Alright, so we've not very little now until some rhythmic noises here. The snoring begins. Brad's asleep again. And then we got some slightly louder ones here. Okay, are we going to get some... Oh, there's a really long patch right here. Let's put this on. Let's see if this is just long snores. He's snoring. He's snoring. I mean, a lot of people snore. And I'm aware I've done it. I've been told in the past. And to be honest, that's not that bad. I've definitely heard louder snores. Some people watching this now know that we've heard louder snores. So, you know what? I can accept that I can make some slightly horrible snoring noises while I'm sleeping, and it's not that bad. Yeah, go on, Brad. You get your good sleep. You get your night's sleep. See, I'm in an alright mood this morning. That's because of this. That's because I got a night's sleep. I still can't... I'm just fucking looking at that. I should have shaved the head before I did a recording like this. I've still not done it now. Look at it. Look how bald it is. And it's the fact that the hair's longer lower down, so it looks even worse. It's like an egg with a beard. Okay, we're going to skim through and see if there's any other noises that seem out of place. I'm also having a scan around to make sure nothing else is happening in the room. I do move my legs more than I thought I did, though. I'm not snoring constantly, though. I'm noticing that it's happening... There's big gaps of nothing and then big gaps of snoring. I would have thought that if you snore all the way through because it's sort of the position that your neck's in as you're sleeping. We're going to scan through now because this just looks like more rhythmic snoring. Nothing much is happening. I'm in the same position. That's fine. I'm looking for anything interesting. Oh, wait. I moved. What am I doing? Just nuzzling the pillow. I bet I'm having a lovely dream there. Just motorboating my pillow. One thing that'll be super creepy though is if I'm looking at the waveform to find the noises, and as I'm scanning through, there's something in my room and I don't see it, but the viewers see it afterwards. Because I'm breathing up and down here, it just looks like I'm vibrating. Yeah, I didn't realise that I'd sort of like kick my feet a little bit when I sleep. Maybe I'm having a dream about swimming. It's a little bit annoying that the position I fell asleep in is the one that I'm facing away from the camera. You can't see my lovely face, and I might pull on the other side of this. I might pull in some amazing expressions. More snoring. Gonna keep scanning through, looking for any demons in the background. Is this still just snores? I mean, to be honest, I don't know what I was expecting. It is just me in the exact same position, snoring. It's interesting to learn things about the way I sleep. So I always thought I was a restless sleeper because when I would wake up in the morning, the duvet would... just hasn't happened as much when I've been older, but when I was younger, I would always go to sleep with my duvet on me, and I would wake up with my duvet rotated 90 degrees, and it would happen every single night. And so I thought that what happened in the night's sleep was that I was restless and kicked around, and then I would grab the duvet by the nearest edge and pull it up, and it happened to be one of the sides because I'd kicked it round. So maybe the kicking is like evidence of that. Maybe it just doesn't happen because a double bed duvet is bigger, so you don't rotate it as much. Yep, just more snoring noises, and then we have another period of silence. Oh, I've turned over! Wait, where's the big moment? Oh, I woke up. Suddenly? That was a little bit jarring. Looking at my hand. Probably straightening my shirt, I would hope. Looked at the camera. Eyebrow raise! He's always performing. Even when he's in bed asleep, he's always performing. Imagine if my subconscious knows it's being recorded and doesn't do the weird stuff. Because it's like, oh, I can't do anything dodgy. Let's move through this quickly. Oh, look, he's put his hand into his head. That's the thing, am I awake for this stuff? Do you have to be at least partially awake to do physical actions like that? Maybe somebody can tell me. Somebody who knows more about sleep. If physical actions like scratching yourself or repositioning, is there a level of like awakeness you need to be, or can you do it while you're asleep? Is it something that you can do subconsciously because your body knows you need to do that thing? Or we can sleep in this position the entire time? Go on, kick your feet. It's been a while. It makes me look like I'm hyperventilating when I scan through this quickly. Still not seeing anything evil behind me. There's a noise here. A weird mouth click. Is that going to be that this is as well? Oh, like, wait, how's one of my legs over there? What position are you in, you fucking weirdo? I've got one leg splayed out to the back. I mean, I hope it's a leg. Imagine if that's not my leg. Imagine if it's something under the bed reaching up. Oh, it's coming for you, Brad. God, you reposition a lot, don't you? I did say it felt like a restless night. So this repositioning could be that I've woken up and I'm repositioning because I'm uncomfortable. I would have thought that I'd look at the camera, though. Because I know I'm recording. I guess if you're in the middle of a night's sleep, you don't really think about the fact that you've set something up. Do I only snore when I'm sleeping on one side and not the other? That seems to be the pattern at the moment. If I'm sleeping on my... and I'm in bed facing that way. So left side, because this is flipped. If I'm sleeping on my left side, am I a snorer? And if I sleep on my right side, I'm not. I've woken myself up with snoring before as well. I'm assuming everybody who snores has. You do a big snore and you're like, oh, what's that? There you go, you big sniffly bastard. Right, let's cycle through. More leg kicks. My hand's twitching a bit as well. Wait, what the fuck is that? I'd weird flexed my hand. And I'm definitely asleep because I'm snoring. That's all. That's strange. So that's my right hand. So I've been editing for so long that at some point I did start to get a bit of pain in my right hand. And one of the ways I respond to that is that a lot of the time I'll do this. And that's like exercising my hand to make sure that it's not like locking up or staying in the same position too long. Maybe that's become a reflexive thing. And I do that now when I'm not thinking about it, and I'm doing it in my sleep, because that would be, if I'm lying on that side, I've got this hand up in there, that would be my right hand. Interesting. I'm learning so much about myself. Everybody should do this. There are apps, aren't there? There's apps that let you record what you sound like when you sleep in case you like say things or make noises. Oh, big snores. Am I doing any of the movements? Oh, is that another twitch? So occasionally, my whole body's just like, let's get a wave. Legs kick a lot. Thankfully, it's not violent. It's just sort of like rhythmically moving. So if I am, in bed with someone, at least I'm not going to be booting them all the way through the night. Okay, so we are currently 2.5 hours in. At some point soon, I'm going to wake up and talk to the camera. I remember that. So we've not heard a mysterious noise, which leads me to believe that those noises were my neighbour. Because it's now, we're 2.5 hours in. That means that at this point it's going to be about 3 o'clock, maybe 3:30. The neighbour might have been asleep at this point, but awake at the other point. It keeps flexing. I keep flexing my hand. It's definitely my right hand, isn't it? Yeah, because you can see the mirrored text on the bedsheet. And again, I flex my right hand in my sleep, and I kick my feet a lot. That's so strange. It's common. It happens constantly. And it happens at the same time as well. That's really weird. That's strange. I know the specialists who study sleep. I wonder if there's a reason for that. Maybe it's, I don't know, maybe like I said, it's become a reflex to move my hands. And because I'm so active and I do so much and walk so much, my feet move a lot. Just sometimes I groan. Having a good dream, aren't you, Brad? Am I having a nightmare? Do I have an itch? I wonder if I'm like sort of half awake there and I'm scratching my leg. Because if I wake up immediately afterwards, there we are. Your boy's awake. Checking the time. See, I don't remember what I said. Should we see how much charisma I have when I'm half asleep?
Well, it's 3:30 in the morning.
Oh, groany. Croaky, not groany.
So I've been asleep for, well, I don't know what time I went to sleep, about 2 hours. I can't say it's been a restless night so far.
You mean restful?
Wait, the other way around. Restful. It's been a restless night. I mean, there is a big light on, to be fair.
There is.
I suppose maybe it's time to restart my recording.
So we're into the last sort of stint now. We've got another couple of hours, so we're going to skim through again. It looks like there's not really much noise coming on over the next bit. Alright, so let's scan through. This stuff's not as interesting anymore. I've already seen it. I'm still looking in the background for any ghosts. Anything strange or out of place, anything moving. I'm disappointed so far that I've not said anything. I wanted to say something in my sleep, and I wanted it to be funny or profound. Like, you can either get a random noise or a random word. Like, I'm just lying there and I just go, sausages! See, that would have been funny. Or I could have been lying there and I could have been like, you are who you choose to be. And it's like, ooh, a subconscious wisdom. Imagine if every time I went to sleep, I just dropped bangers. I'm either giving up amazing quotes or I start like singing songs I've just made up in my head. And I realise that it's a source of genius that whenever I'm asleep, I'm in my best space and I get everything right. More snoring. There's a big noise here. Is this a big snore? It's the computer. It's the computer doing like one of those Windows update things. Hang on, let's have a look at it now. What was it? Yeah, 4:04 a.m. Delete PDF pages. Remove unwanted pages from your PDF fast. Wow, thanks, Creative Cloud. Thanks for telling me that at 4 in the fucking morning. Big snore. Yeah, you're asleep. Enjoy your sleep, boy. You deserved it. You've earned it. You've deserved it. You deserve this. I'm scanning through to like the noisiest parts, by the way, so most of the time it is a lot quieter. Like this. Quick little noise and down. Quick little noise and down. I'm not as bad as I thought I was. I'm actually quite glad to know that. I'm happy to know that the snoring is not as loud as I imagined it being. Because whenever people complain about your snoring, it's because it kept them up. So they're always like, oh, you were fucking snoring all night. I couldn't get a wink of sleep. And so you sat there thinking that the noise you're making is like... and it's like, no, it's not. Yeah, so it's all the same. Come on, Ghost. We're 4 hours in. I don't know why I'm disappointed. I don't know why I was expecting more from me being asleep. I have had confirmation in the past that I've said things in my sleep, and I guess maybe I was hoping it was a regular occurrence, but it's fine. Another snore. What's this bit here? Am I changing position? Am I awake for this? I must be. I'm repositioning my pillows. Look at the camera. Wink. Wink! Perform for me! Right, check your phone. That's it. And now we're back to just no snores. Scan through, nothing's happening. No ghosts, no loud noises. Oh, there's a noise coming up. There's a noise coming up. Are we ready? Are we ready? What do we think? Snore or mysterious noise? It's the fucking phone again. Oh, God. I don't believe in ghosts, but I want one. I want a ghost. For some reason, when I'm sleeping on this side, I'm not making as many noises. I don't really know why. I guess but human bodies are asymmetrical, so there could be something in like my throat or my mouth that means that in certain positions I snore more. I guess I'll know that in future. If I don't want people to be annoyed at my snoring, I'll sleep on my right side. All right, we're coming up to the last half hour now, and we've not had anything interesting for a while. More of the same. Come on, big spike right at the end. I'll click on it and there'll be a voice going, "You dare sleep in my house?" At the start of this, I was like, I really don't want to see a ghost. I'll never be able to sleep again. And now that the reality of it's coming in, and it's just me lying on a bed, barely moving with the occasional noise, I want a ghost. Come on, make my video worthwhile. I could send it to scientists and be like, I've recorded this. This isn't... Even though, the thing is, right, I always find... So, slight tangent. I always think, if I found, or if I captured any ghost footage, nobody would believe me. And it's not that nobody would believe me because... I'm not an unbelievable person or what. It's because I have a background in visual effects. And so everyone's going to see it and be like, well, it's obviously fake. Like, he is able to do this stuff. He edits all day. He does visual effects. He does Photoshop. There's no way that this person could not create this. And I'd feel so bad because I won't be able to prove it to anybody because they'd look at it and, well, even if it looks perfect, he's a visual effects artist. He knows these things. All right, last stretch. Let's just scan through. Nothing's happening. No ghost. Just exact same position. I'm not even kicking anymore. Brad, why are you a boring sleeper? And we're getting to the end now. I think I'll wake up and turn it off. Look at my eyes here. Look how unready to get up I am. And that's it. That's the end of the footage. I'm not disappointed. I feel like I did learn some interesting things about the way I sleep. I'm glad that I don't snore as loudly as I thought I do. Obviously, this could be like circumstantial. It could be that there'll be times when I'll snore louder than others. I get that. Maybe there's times where I talk in my sleep and it just wasn't tonight. Because it was such a restless night, maybe it sort of messes with the usual way that you would sleep. So maybe I never quite got into like the REM sleep enough. Or whatever, I'm not really sure how sleep works. I know that you go through cycles of like 90-minute REM sleep and stuff, so maybe I never quite settled into something deep, like proper deep sleep. Or maybe that was the only time I snored and the other times I didn't. But either way, I've learned several things. I've learned that for some reason, as I sleep, I twitch my hand, then I twitch my legs. There's like a rhythm goes through the body, like I get an electric shock from the hand. Maybe that was the ghost. Maybe the ghost was touching my hand and it was going all the way through my body. I've also learned that no matter where you are, whenever you're recording stuff, you're going to hear some kind of noise at some point. The world isn't silent, and the things around you are not silent. Look, it could have been my mattress, it could have been the neighbour, it could have been anything. I've learned that I turn over a lot and I wake up a lot. But then again, restless night. This doesn't feel like an accurate representation of a proper night's sleep for Brad. Maybe at some point in the future I'll do this again, but I'll do it on a day where I'm really tired, so I know I'm going to sleep all the way through, and I'll do it with a much dimmer light, or maybe I'll get like an eye mask so I can't see. My eyes didn't do anything interesting apart from jump scare me once. You know what, all in all, I'm happy I did it. I'm happy that I actually went through it. You know the reason why I'm happy? Because a ghost didn't appear. If a ghost appeared, I'd have been miserable. I'd have laughed first, and then I'd be like, wait, what actually is that? And then I'd have cried. Then I'd put it online and be like, I've seen a ghost. And everybody would be like, no, you didn't, because you're a visual effects artist and you made it. No, I'm glad that I did it, because now I know that when I'm sleeping, there isn't an entity that watches over me. It could have been a nice entity, though. It could have been like an angel. You could tell I've just woken up, because I can't, like, I'm just flailing with my words. Usually I talk with more purpose and intent, and I sound sophisticated and not like I'm drunk and I'm just flailing. Right, anyway, this was watching Brad sleep. I hope everybody enjoyed it. It's a very unusual experience to see somebody else sleep. Wait, no, it's an unusual experience to see yourself sleep. You always see everyone else sleep. You see other people sleep all the time, but seeing yourself sleep, that's new. and glad to know that I am a boring sleeper. I make a bit of noise every now and then, not the entire time. Occasionally I'll go and make a noise. I wish I'd heard words have been really funny. The thing is as well, imagine if it was something that I didn't want people to know and I said it out loud and I have to decide whether I want to put it in the video. I'll bleep it out probably. Just like sleeping confessions of my crushes. I'm just sat there like, I don't want that person to know. They can't know who I like. There isn't going to be an extended cut of this one on the Patreon. Obviously not. I'm not going to put the entire me sleeping in because it's not interesting. It's not interesting enough to warrant people having... Who's going to sit for 5 hours watching me just make noises? There's not even anything interesting like accidental nudity. There's literally nothing. I'm just there, lying there, making a noise and rolling over on occasion, and then twitching my legs. Everything that was interesting was in this video. However, I do have a Patreon, and I use it to support all of my online creative endeavours. That includes this channel, so whenever I do Bradvent or whenever I do anything else over the year on this channel, but it also supports my gaming stuff where I stream, and it supports my main channel that I want it to be the main channel that I'm doing things like video essays and stuff on. That's Break Brad. The channel's called Break Brad. At the moment, there's a few videos on there where I'm looking at some films in depth, or one of them is I'm talking about Jigsaw for 90 minutes. It's great. But I'm hoping in the new year to do some like slightly shorter ones just to get more into the rhythm of making videos more regularly. So if you want to support any of me or any of my channels, then you can either go to the description and follow me on things. And if you want to support like financially, there's obviously the Patreon where you get like extra stuff. So yeah, look at me plugging myself and not sounding like sarcastic all the time. I'm growing. I'm growing as a human. I'm growing as a man. Yeah, that was me sleeping. Hope you all sleep well tonight, and don't imagine me watching you